4 children. Yes, my second daughter recently, she got married, you know. Ever since she was little, other than her grades being, you know, so and so, she has always been so motherly, so kind, so elegant. You know, she would never leave our side. My youngest daughter, she's very smart, very driven. You know, she just got accepted into one of the biggest hospitals in Beirut. And she has been on a scholarship this whole time. So, you know, she has her head over her shoulder, as you say. And my son, he just finished high school, so he has a long way to go. But my first daughter, God help me, you know, Allah sa'adni, that's... I put her through the best schools. I give her the best education. I spend money on her. I don't have to make her happy. I sacrifice for her more than any of her siblings. And, you know, I thought, you know, she's not an idiot. She's very smart. But she chooses to be an idiot, you know? So I thought she would graduate to be scientist, or to be doctor, or to be lawyer, or to be something, you know? She chose acting. No, acting does not feed you bread. This is what I say. And so I was worried, you know. I go to her university during her second year. And I just want to see what is there, you know. I thought I would see her writing or researching. No, she was on stage, on top of a ladder, changing a light bulb. She was wearing jeans over a dress. She had shaved the back of her head, and she had a piercing on the side of her face. And she had gained so much weight that her arm was now the size of her thigh. So she stood on the thing, hairy armpits, everything. She goes, Jean, give me the screwdriver. So loud, so vulgar, you know. I wanted to be proud. But I couldn't. I couldn't, because how a 20-year-old woman, hard worker, intelligent, with her education, look like a homeless person. You know, my friends' daughters are getting married, and I don't know where she is, you know. Does she want to get married? Is she into drugs? Or maybe she likes girls. And you know, I think to myself, if she does like girls, it's not her fault. You know, she spent so many times in university with these perverts. I am sure they made her sick. One more thing I tell you before I leave. You know, in college, in university, she had a friend boy, very nice guy. Yeah, very nice guy. I know his family. He's from same religion. A little overweight, but very nice guy. And I think to myself, you know, maybe she is not ready to get married, but at least there is someone, you know, someone I'm okay. One time, she was on the phone crying because she wanted to go to a party with this other boy. So I say, Sarah, go with your friend. And she said, Papa, he's gay. He's gay. I'm going with another friend. And so I think to myself, you know, if she is gay, it's not her fault. Mama, are you talking about my mama? Oh, I love my mama. My mama's the best. She gives me kisses when we wake up, before we sleep, before she goes anywhere, when she comes back. Oh, I love my mama so much. One time we went camping, and I followed her and ate her shit. Yeah, I'm not ashamed. I love the shit out of my mama. She's my best friend. You know, we cuddle, we hike, we walk. Walk! I love walks! I love walks! Wait. She always makes me wait. She says she's got to take a hit. And then she makes the place smell bad. And then she starts coughing. And then one time I thought she was going to die. But I still kiss her. Because even though I made her shit, she still kisses me. Thank you, Misty. Okay. Okay, this is how I remember. She said to me, "Shil al-hijab, take off your veil." My heart skipped a beat, you know. She said, "We will go to music hall, big club in Beirut." And she said, "Don't worry, no one will recognize you without your veil. And if they do, they don't want to be recognized without their veil or Quran. So you are good. Let's go to music hall. One night, yalla." Look, let me tell you something. You know, Sarah was raised with no forced tradition, no forced religion, which is something very rare in my country, you know, especially a choice not many have, you know, and not myself. I was 9 when I decided to embrace our Muslim religion, and I wore the veil. All women in my family are veiled, so my father couldn't be any prouder. In university, me and Sarah hated each other. Really, it wasn't until we started working together in this TV network that we became friends. And we became friends because we both hate our boss. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Very philosophical, I know. And you know, we stayed friends together because of the works of Milan Kundera. Also very philosophical, I know. But anyway, in university, I went deep into politics. And unfortunately, in Lebanon, politics is religion, and religion is politics. So being Palestinian, but born in Beirut, I was raised by a father who grew up in the Palestinian tents set up in Lebanon, which is exactly what it sounds like. You know, thousands of tents all set up with thousands of Palestinians who all have keys to a home they will never return to. You know, after the 1948 Nakba, thousands, millions of Palestinians had to make new homes in tents. And my father was one of them. But my father, he grew up and he grew out of the tent. And he made $1 million business. And then he had us. So really, we did not struggle the same way he did, he and my mother. Because my mother also grew up in the tent. And they fell in love in the tent. But anyway, we struggled different, you know. Am I Lebanese? Am I Palestinian? What is the cause? Should I stand for the cause? And you know, I did. I demonstrated, I standed, I made my voice heard. But after the 2006 war, I think something changed. Not just for me, for everybody in the country. Suddenly, the big picture, the war, the politics, the massacres, the demonstrations, you know, all these very relevant things seemed so irrelevant. So I had to zoom out, or maybe zoom in, because it was then that I realized that I struggled a different struggle than my parents, a more intimate, a more personal struggle. I did not want to wear the hijab. So when she said, "Take off your veil, shil al-hijab," my heart skipped a beat, but not because it was the first time that I thought about it. It was because it was the first time I considered it. So next week we went to music hall, and I took off my veil, let down my curly hair, I wore Sarah's one-shoulder dress, I drank, I danced, and I even ate pork. But you know, it was great, but it also took years of shaming, discouragement, putting it on, taking it off. But 5 years ago was the last time I wore the veil. One of my favorite authors, Rabia Alamdeen, said every Beiruti of a certain age learns that upon leaving your home, you should never be too certain of coming back. Not because something might happen to you personally, but because your home might cease to exist. And I, for one, have never been attached to a home. I was 7 months when I started walking. I was 3 years when I packed my bags to leave the house. I spent most of my years at my college years and my teen years at my friend's house and cousin's house. And you know, when I speak to my gay friend, he says, "Sarah, everybody who graduated with us left. There's no one left in Lebanon." And he reminds me, 4 million Lebanese in Lebanon, 10 million Lebanese living abroad. And I remind them of the few reasons they would leave Lebanon. اديني وراء وراء من وين؟ لوين؟ الهوية تقبرني يلا اطلع بالرئة اطلع checkpoints. Ever since I can remember growing up, whether I'm with friends, with family, with a boy, I see a checkpoint up ahead, it's lights up, music down, everybody straighten up, if you're chewing gum, spit it out, and then just silence. Just lots of silence, and heartbeats faster and faster and faster and faster. Whew. Well, I left that silence. I left that silence along with the 10 million other distractions in Lebanon, alongside the 10 million Lebanese, and I left to find space, not home, space. And you know, me and my unveiled friends speak about a lot of things, and one of the things we discuss is how the architecture of every city looks like its people. And you